Toyota finds itself kicking off 2024 ever so slightly cranky with its wholly owned little sister subsidiary, Daihatsu. Toyota, of course, prides itself at being the preeminent automotive liar in the land of the rising sun. Just look at the truly breathtaking elite lying which Toyota Australia performed over many recent years here, in respect of the most craptacular implementation of a DPF ever in the Hilux, Fortuna and Prado. Well done. The provision of such breathtaking untruth down under made head office back in Aichi so proud. A total gold medal winning divorce from the truth and a jaw-dropping marathon of sustained untruth telling. Australia. Oh, what a feeling. The Big T's senior executive management team back in Aichi is doubtless starting the new year most butthurt, following the chilling discovery that little sister is simply a more proficient liar, having successfully and covertly falsified official safety tests for more than 30 incredible years. Imagine that. Daihatsu has only just come clean concerning its deplorable conduct. Fancy discovering that your little sister has been cheating on you for 3 long decades. Boardroom butthurt doesn't get much more irritating than that. It's like being set upon unexpectedly by 100 angry hemorrhoids late at night in the office car park. It feels somehow personal. In a carefully prepared statement, Toyota may have said, quote, "Our butthurt is profound currently, and we would appreciate a little privacy while we learn to deal with the discomfort. It itches, it burns. It's impossible to maintain proper boardroom composure. Please make the pain stop." Imagine that, having to deadpan it through a whole board meeting when all you want to do is scratch. Down there. Living hell, I'm sure. In related news, shares in the miracle drug Anusol have surged to new heights on the Nikkei 225 following news that bulk suppository deliveries to the boardroom in Aichi will commence any day now. I'm John Cadogan from AutoExpert.com.au. New cars cheap, Australia only. Website, card. So, Daihatsu got caught early in 2023, April, I think, with its kimono down around its ankles. Mommy and Daddy had come home early, and they sure as shit weren't expecting to see that when they walked through the front door. It's never dignified. Like, dude, we've all been there. Ultimately, Daihatsu was forced, as a last resort, to come clean about its superhuman capacity for bullshit. This is not unlike the way those criminally conspiratorial cockheads at Volkswagen were dragged incrementally to the come-clean room over several months. Quick shout-out at this point to Martin Winterkorn. Dear Marty, that indictment is still waiting for you in America. Whenever you're ready, dude. Daihatsu Gate began with the revelation of what's being called improper testing on door linings. Doesn't sound too bad, does it? Then, in May, they tripped another breaker in the residual truth device cabinet when a rich vein of horse shit was detected in their side collision testing. Reading in between the lines on this one, they probably tested different, as in safer, doors compared with the doors actually produced and assembled onto customers' cars. That would be essentially how you would game a safety test. You build a really safe door and then you crash it and you put a tick in the box and then mass produce cheaper unsafe doors out of metaphoric paper mache perhaps and just hope nobody notices for 3 fucking decades. Discoveries of Daihatsu's lies have since snowballed, with internal probe after probe uncovering ever more elite bullshit. Now, there's nothing the Japanese car industry enjoys more than an uplifting round of automotive incest. Therefore, problems with Daihatsu also mean problems with Daihatsu-made vehicles that wear Toyota, Mazda and Subaru badges. An incredible 64 models have so far been infected, including 22 models and an engine sold by Toyota. These vehicles went to Japan as well as Bolivia, Cambodia, Chile, Ecuador, Indonesia, Malaysia, Mexico, Peru, Thailand, Uruguay and Vietnam. Since probing began, 174 new cases of elite Daihatsu lying have emerged. They're calling it, quote, irregularities with safety tests. But they're really just lying assholes who got away with it because the Japanese government is down on its knees playing the car industry's flute so enthusiastically. Asleep at the wheel, kind of like the ACCC, might be a more diplomatic depiction of how they roll. So let's get a few things straight, okay? These are not irregularities. For Daihatsu, falsifying this shit is business as fucking usual. They're lying about the lying that they've done. It's like lying inception. I don't even think they know they're doing it. Downplaying everything, okay? It's got to stop. Like when Nissan Shitsville got hacked and ransomed recently, with hackers stealing 100 gigabytes of sensitive data, including customer personal information and all the damning NDAs, the non-disclosure agreements when they threw customers under the bus. Nissan actually had the temerity to call this a, quote, cyber incident in an official statement. In reality, they got administered an enema made entirely of digital barbed wire. Nissan's big strength is, of course, overarching incompetence. It's so dependable. They're quite proficient at damage control, therefore. They're the Keystone Cops of Japanese car makers. And I would argue that we've really got to start using honest language if we want to progress as a species, as opposed to this corporate downplaying bullshit as a standard operating procedure. This is called integrity. At least in my mind, this is where integrity starts, surely. Only fuckers in the corporate world just can't see it. Daihatsu's lies, falsification and betrayal of public trust stretch way back to 1989. Dude, that's before iPhones and the internet. A long time to get away with anything. It's not irregular when you do it for 35 fucking years. But they really cranked the falsification machine into high gear from about 2014, 2 years before Toyota bought them out fully, if memory serves. It's not an irregularity when you knowingly fit a different airbag control module from the one you tested during certification. Without recertification, that should be a fucking crime. Results of speed tests and headrest impact tests had also been falsified. That's pretty freaking serious. Calling that an irregularity is a complete divorce from the truth. Daihatsu is, of course, itself something of a joke, even without this situation. It's notorious for building nasty little shit heaps that you would only buy by virtue of serious economic desperation. Every Daihatsu exists only to make a Kia Picanto feel something like a Rolls-Royce. Who could forget the gorgeous Daihatsu Sirion or the hauntingly elegant Terios? What a pity the company folded here in Australia in 2006. Daihatsu cranks out roughly 1.5 million nasty little shit heaps annually and packs them full of free lies and sells them domestically and overseas. That's roughly 15% of Toyota's production. I'm surprised there are that many new car buyers who hate themselves every year in the world. Right now, however, soberingly, the Daiben really has hit the fan, as they don't say in Japan, but they should after this one. Every Daihatsu factory is presently shut down. Official suppliers to Daihatsu are kicking off 2024 on the ropes. They're making no money. They got nothing coming in and nothing going out. And the Japanese government is compelled to issue vague bullshit warnings about yanking Daihatsu's official permit to make cars. That's never going to happen. They'll be back on the flute any day now, you mark my words. Nobody's saying when production might resume, of course, but it's pretty safe to say noise complaints from nearby residents are going to be at an all-time low until at least the end of January. Of course, the ceremonial katana has already come off the wall in Aichi, and if I were a Daihatsu senior executive right now, I would be properly concerned about the immediate future of my entrails. Because it's not looking good, dude. Daihatsu President Soichiro Unpronounceable has admitted everything. The cheating and falsification on safety testing and sundry other procedures. Officially, he's admitted the company's conduct was tantamount to issuing a heartfelt fuck you very much to the entire safety certification process. But probably not using those words. Unpronounceable-san, as he is never known in the boardroom, attributed the company's conduct 30-plus years of spectacular export-laid and export-grade, both of those things, export-grade lying and falsification, to the immense pressure on workers to meet overly ambitious demands and tight production schedules. Imagine that. Being the only company in the world operating in a deeply competitive environment, forced to balance regulatory framework against tight production demands. It sounds like a living hell. And obviously, in this situation, dishonesty is the only viable escape valve for all that pressure, which inevitably builds up. Unpronounceable-san's statement on this has filled me with at least a glimmer of hope for Daihatsu. Toyota's 3-foot razor blade is out, admittedly, and the Kill Bill movie marathon has been scheduled. It's in everyone's diary, but I remain confident that until then, the old girl still has some A-grade falsehood left in her.